All right, welcome to Back of the Room. My guest today is a very funny stand-up comedian and musical performer. You can check out his album, Dumber by the Decade, on Spotify. It's J.R. Brow.
Hey, thank you, man. What's up, Jimmy?
How you doing, man?
Good. Nice to meet you this finally.
Yeah.
I have another album out. It's going to be called Quit. And advice to other young up-and-coming comedians.
That's good advice for some, I think, you know.
It's got new material on it, but it actually is going to be called Quit. And it's going to coincide with my book. It's going to be called Quit. I just like the title.
Nice.
That's what somebody told me when I first started. First advice somebody gave me goes, hey, I said, can you give any advice to a new coming comic? He goes, yeah, quit.
You didn't listen. You didn't listen, but that's a good thing. Yeah, I checked out your show last night. Had very funny stuff. You know, how the show's been going, like how long you been coming to St. Louis, all that kind of stuff.
Probably, since probably 2007.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
16, 17 years. Yeah, I've always loved this room.
Yeah, it's a great room, man.
Yeah.
It's low ceilings, no nonsense.
Plays old school style.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely get the laughs right back at you.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, so many places mess that up. It's like you got to have a dark, low ceiling,
right?
Just kind of little
and
stage.
And move the seats as far away from the front of the stage as possible.
Yeah.
I had that too.
Yeah, we're not seating people. They're like, you can all just sit in the back. We don't need anybody up front here.
Yeah.
That's always great.
We call it the comedy moat.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, very funny stuff. I know we were talking last night. You said you were in Austin. Now you're in Richmond.
Yeah, we moved.
What's the deal with Richmond? What's that all about?
Start on a map, man.
Okay.
My wife had a job offer, and not only that, she can work anywhere, but she also wanted to just get out of Tejas for a while. We've been there for 30 years. Yeah.
Is that where you grew up too, or?
I was a military brat, but I grew up mostly in most of my life I've spent in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm probably the only person leaving Austin.
Yeah.
Everybody else is moving there.
Do you blame Joe Rogan for everything?
I don't blame him for everything, but I blame him for a lot.
Yeah.
I call it the erosion of the charm, the unique charm that Austin used to have.
I could see that. Yeah. That kind of sucks. I mean, I'm sure people that were there for that long just kept seeing people roll in there just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, it's one thing, he brought a political bent to Austin that we never had.
Uh-huh.
We never made it political.
Yeah.
He kind of did. And now we're like, fuck it. Okay, if you want to draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Good for you and all your money. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Have you been to the mothership yet or checked any of that stuff out? Or?
I've got friends that work there, and
okay.
I love them. Funny comics, Tony Casillas and Tony Casillas, and I love those guys, and I respect them because they can work anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna play that game.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I'm not gonna bash him because I don't care.
Yeah, I did what he did, and now that's what it is, I guess. Yeah, man. Well, you kind of you do a lot of musical stuff too. I know you're a big music guy, and from like listening to your set, I think we have a lot of common interests probably in like what we kind of like. You seem like a rock guy mostly.
Yeah. I started out as a musician when I was in high school and kind of fronted bands, and that kind of just grew out of it. Where I'd go to open mics. They were musical open mics.
Uh-huh.
I would sit in playing guitar, and I found that when I screw up and I would ad lib, lyrics and stuff, I would get pretty good laughs. I'm like, I like that better than the, the people sitting there kind of staring you down. And just enjoying your strumming. I'm not big on strumming. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, you got a good...
Comedy music.
Yeah, you got a good combo of both for sure. Like, so you were in bands in high school and stuff or anything like after that, or just mostly just kind of...
Oh, I tried my hardest when I went getting out of high school to get into a heavy metal band. I was living in Iowa. Yeah, huh? Quit bragging. And I was in a band that, for a brief moment I thought, well, this is what I want to do because I was singing and living a debaucherous lifestyle.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. I didn't get into the hard drugs, so I kind of backed away from it. And everybody in the band was like, already. You know how they say they already bought the costume before they ever got the stage.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of where they were. They were all like rock stars in their head.
Yeah.
They were already living the debaucherous lifestyle. You got to work on this.
It's a fine line, I think, on some of that. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to play guitar for a little while in like middle school and stuff, and I just never got the hang of it. Like,
Never got beyond that.
No, but me and a couple buddies, like, we said we had a band, but it was like me, my buddy Will, and Colin. One of them played drums, one of them played guitar, and I played guitar. So it was 2 guitars and a drums. No bass, no singer. So we weren't really a band.
Well, I don't know. That's a pretty unique combo, but
yeah, I mean, it didn't work out. Obviously, none of us were any good, but we had fun. But
how did you get into comedy?
It was kind of just on a whim, man. I just always was a fan, watching Comedy Central, SNL, all that kind of stuff. Came up here, checked out an open mic, kind of did a little, recon the first time, and then I was like, I think I'm going to try it, and then the first time I tried it, it did not go well, and then I took a 2-year-long break and came back.
Oh, wow.
So I've been doing it since then, but I had that 2 years to think about it for a while.
I always compare the microphone
to heroin because I think that it's an addictive thing very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like you didn't get a good hit.
I did not. I didn't know what I was doing, but I think
I've been strung out for 32 years.
I'm at 9 right now, so I'm getting there after that.
First time I ever saw comedy, I wasn't even in doing comedy, but I was entertaining the idea of it. I saw
the late great Bill Hicks.
Nice.
In Austin.
Got a little action figure of him back here.
Oh yeah. Oh, check it out. Yeah. And so he was the first comic I ever saw, and in my mind I was like, he crushed.
Yeah.
And in my mind I kept saying, man, I could never do that. Well, 3 weeks later, I'm downtown Austin on 6th Street and watching open mic, and I'm like, oh fuck, I can do that.
Yeah.
So it was such a difference in what it was to be a seasoned pro versus an open micer, and I kind of saw the difference. Okay. Then I got my wheels. That's when I put on my skates and just started playing the game.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be a great one to see for sure.
It was
sure.
Educational.
Yeah, I bet, man. Like he was a good one for sure, and like it seems like you've opened up for a lot of like legends too. Like anybody in particular you really liked opening up for in the early years?
I really enjoyed working with Wanda Sykes.
Okay,
she was awesome. She's still one of my favorites. Tom Rhodes. I've done shows with a lot of late greats actually. And Louis Anderson was one I worked with. He was awesome.
Yeah, he
just
seems
the
great.
Guy. I think he had a little crush on me, but he goes like, that was such a great set. He was like, just kind of give me the looky loo.
Uh-huh.
I didn't care, man. I was like, I know how to say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Take the compliment.
The compliment. Yeah, I absolutely did. I opened for Ray Romano before anybody loved him.
Yeah.
True story. We were in Arlington, Texas, and I was the guy, the opening act or the feature act, and I was giving him a ride around everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he got me into this golf tournament for the morning from the radio show. And he's like, hey, you want to drive me around? I was like, yeah, no problem. And back then he had a thicker Boston accent before it kind of cleaned it up for TV. And we're out there golfing and on the 9th hole or something like that. He's like, oh, my shoulder's killing me. He goes, hey, you don't mind when we get off, when we finish the course, we drive by one of those massage parlors right there off the highway. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to those Jack Shacks, And he's like, what? Well, it's not cheating if she's jerking you off. And I was like, dude, if you ever get famous, I'm going to tell that story to everybody. So this is another one of my opportunities to tell that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's stupid, but who cares?
That's good to hear. That's a good story, man. Like I've got to open something cool.
I ain't shaming people for stealing my jokes. Y'all be stealing my jokes everywhere. Wasn't that the big thing?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah. Did you watch that whole thing?
I watched enough of it to understand there is a certain bit of validity to what he's saying.
Yeah.
In that, if you, because I've had Carlos Mencia rip me directly and do it on television. I fucking witnessed it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you could do after it's burned on television. So I don't even,
Yeah, that's the worst. And then-
So, but I think that there is a lot of just unwarranted animosity. Like, I don't know if that's the right word. Unnecessary. You don't need to drag out all that shit.
yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, if you get stolen from there, you got some stuff you can be pissed, but he was going off on
He
everything.
was going off
I read
every
3,000 books a year when I was 13. It's just he was funny, man. I always thought that guy was funny, but he was definitely he was definitely shitting on everybody. I was like, all
Yeah, he
right, man,
was.
all right
Yeah,
there.
hard shit. Too.
Yeah.
Not even. Yeah.
Shannon Sharp couldn't get a word in. He was just like, all right, man, like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. You mentioned Metallica last night. That's one of my favorite bands.
Oh,
You
yeah?
ever seen them live?
I have. I've seen them twice actually.
Okay.
Before they cut their hair and then when they cut their hair. I was like, yeah, I seen the transition. I was
You,
like, man.
yeah, you probably liked before. I would
Well,
imagine.
Yeah, they just look like managers at Pep Boys the last time I saw them. You know, they just got the goatee and the short hair. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they were great. I've always enjoyed their music, but then I've always been a metalhead. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I saw him here at Chaffetz Arena when I was in high school, and then I saw him at Busch Stadium too. That was kind of cool. I got to be in like left field and watch him, so that was kind of different. But yeah, any other? What's like your favorite show you've ever been to?
Comedy or
Either
rock
one,
or
but I
music?
guess I was thinking more music, but either one.
That's a good question. I've been to a lot, and over the years, I would say one of my favorites was God. It's going to be hard to pin down. I think it was David Byrne from Talking Heads
Okay.
at Austin City Limits Festival. For some reason, his show, it was 103 degrees out. He is on stage with about 5 other people that are dressed exactly like him, which is the big suit, and he's sweating his ass off, but he is not missing a beat or a note, and he's just I'm like, I'm loving the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've always been a Talking Heads fan anyway, so
Nice.
just to see, I was like, David Byrne was a surprise guest. I didn't even know he was coming. To me, it was a
Nice.
surprise, but
Yeah.
I mean, I picked the one out of all the shows I couldn't have fucking even lied about.
Good answer. That's a good answer. Besides Bill Hicks, any other comedy shows you'd throw up there?
I never got to see Carlin. That was one of my
That would have been
favorites.
cool, yeah.
I used to open a lot for Ron White.
Okay.
Back in the day. And I've seen him destroy rooms like
I bet.
And like
What the hell that is?
hold on. Take a break. I'll find out.
We'll be right back, folks, with more Back of the Room. Hopefully we won't get murdered. Back of the Room has a new sponsor. It's a great new antiperspirant brought to you by one of the best scorers in NBA history. It's deodorant. Sure, maybe it doesn't have the best defense against odor and sweat, but it has very good offense. Deodorant comes in 3 scents, including Ring Chaser, Thunder from Down Underarm, and LeBron Shadow. Look, it's not the best deodorant ever, but it's pretty good. If you're trying to be a scent champion, you should probably just find the best deodorant out there and jump aboard their team. Deodorant. You'll be in heaven when you smell exactly like heaven. All right, folks, we're back. We're back with J.R. Brow. In the back of the room, we were talking about comedy shows, music shows. Back to music, I guess, just for a second. Is there any bands that they come on the radio, you're changing the station?
If they come on the I'm going to change the station?
Yeah.
Plenty. That's
Usually
DJ.
somebody's got like 1 or 2, where I got 2. I'll just throw them out there. Nickelback and Fall Out Boy.
Oh, Fall Out Boy. Yeah, you know,
Not
I
a
think
fan.
my wife is probably killing it with Noah Khan these days.
Okay.
Which I like, but my God, if I hear it again, I'm going to just turn it off.
A little overboard.
The other one that I've been kind of, not Fall Out Boys, but what are the names? Something, Cold War Kids.
Okay.
You heard them?
Yeah.
Like them, but again, it's just overkill at the house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, no. I'm driving. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get burnt out on a certain genre, I'm sure. But yeah. But yeah, been doing comedy, long time. It said on the website you performed in 49 states. Is that still the
All
case?
50.
50. What was the last one?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Okay.
I'm getting that tattoo. Hawaii
Nice.
5-0. It's got to be. That's a destiny right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's,
and it was in the same place where everything got fucking burned down.
Oh, really?
Lahaina. Yeah. I was there 3 months before everything caught fire. And
Damn.
I was like, whoa. Lucky me to have
You got-
that
yeah.
history before it got.
Yeah, that was terrible. That happened like right after we got married, and we were thinking about going to Hawaii. And we're like, guess we didn't. Unless we didn't
Yeah.
go. But yeah, that was bad.
We'll go to Kauai anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna go. I think in the summer.
enjoy
So
Kauai.
we're gonna. It should be good. But yeah, man. Getting into some more comedy questions here. Where did you start?
Started in Austin on 6th Street.
Okay.
A club called the Velveeta Room. The former strip club converted into, in fact, still had the gold brass kind of pole, little walkway
Okay.
in front of the stage. And, they took about a year to clear all that shit out of there, though, but it was awesome. It was called the Embassy Room. And then you could still see the smoke that created the outline of the letters that they took off, and it was, and then renamed it the Ronnie Velveeta Room. And people were always like, "Man, aren't you afraid Kraft Foods are gonna sue the owners?" They're like, "Shit, no," because the owners owned half of the street, and they did an entertainment show that they hired Kraft Foods all the time for their food place, for their catering. So they were never worried that Kraft was going to go, "You can't call this the Velveeta."
Yeah.
Like, fuck, it's just sponsorship at this point. So it stayed. It stuck. And it's been there ever since. In fact, you can Google, if anybody gets on and Google's Velveeta Room, they'll see what I'm talking about. That's where I
Nice.
started. Yeah.
That's cool that it's still open. I guess
Yeah.
they were like keeping their options open. They're like, we'll keep the poll, see if this comedy thing works out.
Oh, man.
and we'll,
yeah.
we'll go
It's
from
been
there.
around for probably over 32 years now.
Nice. You have to check it out. I went to Austin like 10 years ago, and it was great. But I wasn't doing comedy then. And then,
Yeah.
I haven't been back since then. I know it's really expanded with a ton
Yeah.
of people, but I'm sure it's still fun. So.
It was 2 rooms back then. It was that and the Laugh Stop, which then turned into Cap City Comedy.
Okay, and that's
And
still
now
around
it's-
too, right?
Now it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cap City has moved out to the other end of the city.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool, man. What's your writing process like? Do you have any specific things you do with that,
It's
or
got to come to me, man.
Yeah.
I used to force it. I used to just pick a topic and sort of, hammer in on it and stuff.
Mhm.
But I'm like, it just has to come to me, and I think that's the most important, because then it becomes a bit that will bother you or delight you, or either way you're gonna have an interest in it,
yeah,
as opposed to let's do a bit about
it's,
what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, it could be forced or whatever. I ask everybody just kind of because everybody's
Yeah.
got a different process. Like nobody that I've talked to has done it the same
Well,
way.
one of my favorite comics was Norm Macdonald. And
Nice, got him too.
late great, yeah, love him.
Yeah.
He was talking about, actually, I was watching a clip earlier about him talking about the perfect joke, which was how he wrote it. He said the setup was the punchline, was the whole joke.
Oh, I think I heard him say that. Yeah.
And it was something about yippee, somebody, like instead of a hippie, but the guy was a yippee.
Oh yeah.
Yippee, somebody died this morning, and it's like, I'm sorry, I meant yippee, died
Yeah.
this morning, because it's the way he said. Well, I had a joke sort of like that. I one of the first jokes that I ever wrote that I thought was my most clever attempt at writing was, I said, I was driving and I was driving past my old high school, and I saw on the marquee said, oh fuck, this is the wrong joke. I have 2 high school jokes. Let me get back to the one I did. Okay, so I drove past my old high school varsity football field house, and I was watching the new team getting ready for the big Friday night game, and it brought me back 10th grade when I used to do that. I used to drive by the field house and watch the varsity football team, which was to me
Yeah.
like a perfect joke, because it's just a big circle.
Yeah. Yeah, Norm was great, man. Like just listening to those guys too, and just picking up little things is always
Oh, he was
always
a master
helpful. And,
joke writer.
yeah, that Weekend Update. Like I think the joke you were talking about, he did on Weekend Update. It was just like
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
great, and then he got fired, which is weird.
Well, I love that he every week he would be like, "Oh yeah, OJ did it."
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah,
favorite. He did not lay off of that
Yeah.
ever.
those were great. We kind of already talked about a couple of them, but do you have any like a singular favorite comedian like ever?
Well, it's a toss up between Carlin and Steve Martin.
Okay.
I just love the absurdities of Martin and the harmless early Carlin humor that he was doing, which
Yeah.
was more observational and
Mhm.
kind of out there, hippy dippy kind of.
Yeah,
But as he got older, it was like, oh, you're all should die. That kind of that was a different kind of Carlin.
yeah,
I mean, granted, it's all funny, but I did like the, more fun-loving Carlin.
uh-huh.
That's what inspired me. Those were the albums that I, as a kid, when there were cassettes, I would steal them from the record store and listen to them real quietly through headphones in my, because I didn't want my parents to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's come up a lot. He's a great one for sure. And you kind of already talked about the first advice. What's like the best advice you've got about comedy?
Treat every show like a date.
Okay.
Going up, first of all, take her to dinner, take her to the movies, and then try to take her to bed. Because if you fuck her too early, she doesn't want to eat the rest of the food, and she doesn't want to finish the movie. She wants to go home and cry and wonder why she ever went out.
That's good advice.
And that's just an analogy. It's a metaphor for clean jokes, dirty joke,
Yeah.
dirtiest joke. That's all that means.
Uh-huh.
Start out clean.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is, let's go to the movies. Yeah. Then go dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. I mean, hosting or featuring, you can't go dirty right off the bat,
No.
or you got nowhere to go, and the crowd is like, "What the hell? Like, what do we sign up for here?" So that is good advice for sure.
Yeah. Also, the 2/3 rule. Try a joke 3 times, and if it works 2 out of 3 times, it's a keeper. If it works 1 out of 3 times, put it on the back burner. But if it works 0 3 times, don't fucking get married to it.
Yeah.
Divorce it. Throw it away. It's
That's
not
good
worth it.
advice too. Yeah, that's tough sometimes when you got something that you like that's just not working or needs something else
Mhm.
and you still do it. But I'm trying to get to that point too where I'm just like, this one's gone. I need to do something
I
else.
say that, and then same time, I started having to work clean and do longer shows. So I was doing some cruise ships and then other corporate gigs. I'm like, oh shit, I got to do 45 clean. So I'm pulling out old notebooks and going,
Uh-huh.
oh, you know what? This is going in, and then I would,
Yeah.
but it's funny because there'd been such a long time since I'd send the words, it was like, oh, they're still words.
Yeah.
They haven't changed. So I'm like, how do they sound coming out of my mouth, 20 years later or something? And
Yeah.
guess what? Sometimes it took that long for that joke. Oh, this is what I meant. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like, oh shit. Yeah. So writing down everything is important for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
I
all know that.
definitely keep them, but you just gotta, they're on a Word document somewhere. Maybe
Yeah.
revisit it or
Oh, and
tweak
that's
it
the other
later.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Print that shit out.
Yeah.
Instead of looking on your phone. Man, that's the hardest thing about comedy sometimes. Look, you got no reason.
I got
You
notes.
know why?
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna. This drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Because we're doing everything on here now. The phone numbers, the pictures, and even all your texts and your emails. But when you have something tactile in your hand like this, and you can read it, it just you remember the joke better.
Yeah.
And B, I think it makes it easier to process it.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy with the phones too. I saw this video a couple days ago. It was a concert, outdoor concert, and it was like 2005 before screens took over, and they just panned around and everybody was just like talking and like hanging out and dancing. I was like, holy shit! Like, and then I looked up from my phone and everyone was on their phone. I was just like, holy shit!
Yeah.
This is so true that this is taking over. But
Yeah, I do like that some concerts make you put your phone away.
yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good for comedy too. You don't want people, recording or taking pictures or any of that stuff. But
Yeah, people got to get selfies of, like, you don't see me selfieing while we're doing a show that's being videotaped.
Yeah.
People do shit like that.
Oh,
Like,
I
it's
know.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I had a lady did a comedy competition one time. The lady two back was taking pictures of me, and everybody around was looking at her, and I had to be like, "Hey, what the hell? Like, what are you doing?" And the flash was on. So I was just like, I only had, 4 minutes anyway.
Stealing your
And
identity.
yeah. So
Possibly.
yeah, fuck that lady.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that in there, but
Fuck her.
yeah. All right. I got a segment for you if you're down. It's
please.
Stupid. It's new.
Go ahead.
But we'll try it out. It's called It's About Time. Segment is all about time traveling.
Okay.
So I told you it's going to be dumb, but just stick with me. They're all hypotheticals of, if time travel was possible. So if you could travel only once, would you go to the past or the future?
Past.
It's a good answer. I think the future's looking a little bleak, so I would probably go in the past as well.
Yeah, I would go way back. Back to like the 40s.
Okay.
And I would try to fix a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Particularly the way white people treated everybody else but themselves.
Yeah.
Particularly the black race. Because,
Yeah.
man, this country is long overdue for just being one color and just being accepting of one another. All
Yeah.
right, I didn't mean to get on.
No, that's good. That's a good idea and good.
I've been
good.
watching a lot of. It's been Black History Month, so a lot
Yeah.
of shit's been hitting me over the head. Anyway, I'm like, God damn, we were assholes in the 40s and 50s. Still are.
Yeah.
But most egregious, worst times were those 40s and 50s when people had to fucking write their own books. Like, do you see the Green Mile? Like, we're green
Yeah,
book
yeah.
to get around. I was thinking about this on the way over here. A lot of time, white people are always asking, like, is it a safe part of town? That's what you hear white people mostly say.
Mm-hmm.
Before all that, black people were always asking, is it a safe part of town?
Yeah.
More afraid that they'd get murdered than just robbed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I remember I met with this guy one time for work. He was kind of an older black guy, and I was like, I was complaining about something. I said something like, "Oh man, I wish I was 21 again." And he said, "I wouldn't go back if I could." And I was like, "Damn." I mean, that's pretty, that's pretty telling of the time that he wouldn't, this 70-year-old guy wouldn't go back to when he was 21 if he could.
Yeah.
So it's a good answer. It's a good answer. Okay. If you could,
it's about time.
It's about time. If you could go back in time and rewatch one movie or show again, what would it be?
Well, I'm old school.
It's a tough one.
If I could go back and watch it live, you mean? Like first time?
Yeah, like you're watching it again for the first run through of a show or the first movie or in
Face in the Crowd.
Okay. I don't even know what that is.
It is a serious movie about a southern podunk hillbilly who gets famous on radio talk shows, and then all of a sudden TV buys him up, and it's a black and white. And then he becomes egomaniacal to the point like he thinks he is a bigger propagandist than Hitler. Like, I mean, the whole story is about him like, I own you, and it stars Andy Griffith. It's a serious movie. It's a dark.
I'll have
dark,
to check that
twisted-
out. I've never heard of it.
It's such a good movie, and the only reason I brought it up is because I keep wanting to watch it, and I always, you asked if I could go back in time. Well, if I could go back like 2 hours today or 2.5 hours right now, I would go watch it before I do the show.
There you go. That's a good rec. I'll check it out. I'm gonna go with Big Mama's House too.
Big Mama's House too. Yeah. Really.
If you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself at 13 years old?
Oh, don't collect so many Hustlers. They spilled out from under the cabinet. No, I'm kidding. I was
Videos
13.
coming. It's gonna
I
be
would
crazy.
say, teach yourself how to ride a skateboard better, because I broke my tailbone when I was 13 I thought I could do this half pipe.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was doing. I just jumped it because it looked like everybody else was doing it with ease, but I didn't know you had to practice.
Yeah.
And I went into and I just landed on my ass so hard that I was out for a year.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So 13, I would
Yeah,
say
I think that's
teach yourself how to skate before jumping on the board.
that's some good advice to yourself there.
Fuck yeah. To this
Um,
day, it hurts me.
damn. Well, if time travel becomes a thing, we'll keep all these as a
No,
record here.
Yeah. Well, look it up with like what they call that where you get your genes, your DNA. How they call it?
Genealogy.
Yeah,
or something?
genealogy.
Okay.
Yeah. Where they could
Yeah,
shoot
yeah.
me back up with that.
Sounds good. We kind of already touched on it, but if there was one show, concert, play, comedian, anything you could see from the past, what would you see?
Who would it be?
Could be like Woodstock. It could be, Carlin somewhere. It could be anything.
I think it would be Iron Maiden in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
When they played, like it was over 250,000 people.
Oh,
It was like-
damn.
and the crowd, it went on and on and on, looking at it.
That would be wild.
I don't know why Iron Maiden, but I saw the video and I was like, whoa, that's a big crowd. And I like Maiden, but
Yeah. It's a good answer. It's a good answer.
yeah, they were doing Number of the Beast when they showed the video. You remember that one?
Vaguely. Yeah. I'm not
Well,
huge
you know
into
what-
Iron Maiden,
you know
but
what the
yeah.
number is, right?
What's that?
666.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That's a
Well,
good one.
that's-
I would probably just do, I don't know specific, but I'd probably just do like a Zeppelin show or like
oh, yeah.
I don't know, something like
yeah,
that.
Led Zeppelin would be good. It would
Yeah.
be good.
Maybe that Siegfried and Roy show where the guy got bit too. That'd be a good one, but I don't know.
Oh man, I don't think I want to see anything.
I think he shook it off, but it'd be something to see.
Well, I think the Lion should go.
Yeah, he definitely did. If there was a musician from the past that you could save from an early death, who would that be?
Oh, that is a good one. Phil Lynott from names again. Thin Lizzy.
Okay.
The bass, almost the entire band died in a plane crash, but I would save them because they were just getting good. They died so young.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That's a good one too.
I would
There's a lot
stop.
of them,
Yeah,
There's a
God,
lot
you
of
wanna
them.
keep going. I'll keep going, man. Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah.
Mac
yeah.
Miller, Juice WRLD, rappers, but I like them.
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison. I would probably pick Cobain. He had a lot more in the tank, I think.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Oh, Cornell.
Yeah.
That guy. What was he thinking? That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck,
That
that
I
broke my
think
wife's
he
heart. I
yeah.
think she wanted to that was her secret. If I
His
could.
hall pass.
Yeah, that was her hall pass.
I think he had the best voice of the 90s, like that era of that grunge kind of rock. Like his voice was
I would put it
great.
up against all time. I mean,
Yeah.
just his range.
Yeah,
So
his voice was
good.
crazy. All right, we're bringing all them back.
Bring it around.
If you could go back in time, who would you most want to sit down and have a dinner with?
But
These are tough, man. I told you, they're all hypothetical, but it's a little tough when you're
Norm
going through
Macdonald.
time. That's a good one.
I would just want to pick his brain.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he seemed like a really smart guy and probably just knew everything about comedy and
But
just in general.
He just seemed like a nice enough person that you could actually ask him anything and he wouldn't be bothered by it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably pick somebody like that too, like a Carlin or Norm, Norm, somebody like that. But all right, that's pretty much the segment. It's new. It's called It's About Time. So,
It's about time you brought it up.
yeah.
I like it. It's a good name.
Okay, maybe we'll redo it. We'll do it again. But yeah, man, we're gonna wrap things up. I know you got a show get ready for here. Yeah. Anywhere they can find your social media, Twitter, whatever.
I'm putting together a bunch of clips really soon for TikTok because I want to do that thing with my 30-minute clips, 30-second clips.
Yeah.
Because over pandemic, I did a shit ton of them. I just haven't released them. I just had fun putting them on Facebook. And people are like, dude, these would be perfect for TikTok.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for those. And I'm sure my name will be very easy to spell, J.R. Brow, B-R-O-W, J-R. And also I did something for Open Bar Comedy on it was in Florida, and they filmed it, so you can go to YouTube and just click J.R. Brow, and the clips are up there. You can see my fat ass. Yeah, I was fucking fat, man. I finally lost the weight.
You're looking good now. You're looking good, man.
I lost 15 pounds over the holidays, but man, I was looking. I was like, God damn, I was looking like, yeah.
I've been running that with these cameras too. I'm like editing. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta lose fucking weight. But
yeah, that's it. And
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying. Keep looking out for my book called Quit: Advice to Young Comics.
Cool. All right, man. Well, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. J.R. Brow, everybody, check him out. Thanks for being with us in the back of the room.
Peace. As white as it gets.
Peace out, man.
That one was white.
Yeah. Roger that.